right, good morning everyone. Welcome to the Gobind Wellness Sobriety Show. I'm your host, Bobby Bains, and today, episode 1, we will be covering my life story. And we'll call this episode Bobby's Hit Rock Bottom. So, a little bit about myself before we get started on that topic. I'm the owner and operator of Gobind Wellness, life coach and counseling services. We provide amazing services out in Calgary, BC, plus Surrey, BC, and we are expanding in other provinces as well. And we also cover the rest of the world on Zoom. We have effective programs such as the wellness program that's geared towards depression and anxiety and personal growth and development. We also have a very effective addictions recovery program. It's a 13-session outpatient program where I specifically work with my clients or with you, and I take you on the same journey that I was taking myself. So for me, it all began at an early age. I remember taking my first drink out of my grandpa's bottle. Me and my cousin VJ, we've seen in our culture, everyone drinks, right? We're East Indian, we're brown, and us brown folks love drinking, right? And it's such it's all around you, so it really does normalize the behavior. And for us, we were so curious in what our dads were drinking and our cousins and whatnot that we decided to take a drink out of my grandpa's bottle. And it was a Bacardi, it was a shot of Bacardi. And I remember the feeling I had right after taking it. I took the first sip, I felt like puking, I felt the buzz, and I couldn't wait to do it again. Like it was truly a bad but yet positive experience for me. And it was funny because I chased that feeling for a very long time, right? Like that buzz was what really sold me. It was not so much the alcohol that I was chasing, it was the effect it has on my mind. And for me, I mean, like a lot of people would, go back and say, oh, I blame my parents, I blame my environment, I blame this. But at the end of the day, I mean, like, yeah, like I did grow up in an alcoholic home. My household was quite chaotic and loud. There was a lot of verbal abuse, some physical as well. There was a lot of trauma that I've experienced. Like my dad had a heart attack, nearly died 3 times in the middle of a night, and when I was a teenager. So I mean, there's definitely traumas, but the fact of the matter is, I enjoyed alcohol. I liked the effect it had on my mind, and I like to party. Like that's just my makeup. That's who I was. I'm a guy that loves to party. I'm a guy that loves to be social. I'm a guy that loves to be outdoors. And for me, 100% alcohol did all that for me, right? It definitely made its entrance and fulfilled all my internal needs. Yeah, man, like I felt confident. I felt like taller, lighter, everything. And it made me feel good about myself. And yeah, it made me feel comfortable. That was another thing, right? Like alcohol allowed me to connect with other people. And with that connection, like I felt like I knew so many people in the world. And just like and I guess that's why I had troubles in stopping alcohol, because without connecting with people, like I found it very challenging to have fun in life. So I mean, in high school, I was kind of the weekend warrior. I drank on the weekends a lot. It was never a few drinks. I drank to get drunk Fridays and Saturdays, and then Monday to Friday was school. I wasn't too good in school. My main focus was really partying, but I got by, right? And so after high school, I went on a run for about 10 years, partying, clubbing, drinking, and 100% my drinking did increase. It was not every day, but probably every other day. Obviously I wouldn't binge on every day. I would probably have beers like during the week or something, but after on the weekends, like 100%, I would binge. I would drink to get drunk again, right? Like that was my fun. That was life. That was my center focus. That was everything, right? But again, I mean, like, it just amounted to so many downfalls. I mean, I had DUIs. I was ending up in drunk tanks. I was in bar fights. I was unhappy at home. I was, my relationships were kind of hitting a bottom as well, and yeah, like I truly felt stuck in this alcoholic pit where my life was just on pause, like nothing was moving forward. And I tried controlling my drinking, right? Like I tried stopping on my own for many years, but the problem was, like, I would say in the morning I'm gonna stop, but by 5 p.m. I would forget that resolution and I would start again, right? It was this vicious cycle that I was in, where I would want to stop, then I didn't want to stop. I wanted to stop, and then I didn't want to stop. And it's just that, I guess that's what they call alcoholic torture, right? I was 100% sick and tired of being sick and tired, and but I didn't know that it was a disease. I didn't know that there was a solution, right? Like I thought that I was giving up hope. I honestly was giving up hope and thinking that I can stop this. Lucky for me, I had to really lose a lot of things in life to really come to the realization I need help. For me, like I said at the beginning, my wife left, I lost my business, I was in financial debt, I lost my relationships with my family members, and most importantly, I lost myself. Like I honestly did not know the reason why I existed, and I did not have a purpose in life. I didn't know where I was going to go in life, and I had nothing to give to my son, to my wife, to my family. I was hopeless, and I was useless, right? But yeah, so that was October 26, 2014, and 100% by the grace of God, or by the grace of the universe, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. I looked up and I asked for help. First time I'm not religious, I'm not spiritual, but for the first time ever, I literally looked up and I asked for help. And funny enough, the next day something happened. A thought came into my mind, and it said I better go see my doctor. And I remember seeing Dr. Sandhu in Surrey there, and this guy's awesome. I went in there, I was all cranked out, I was on a solid cycle of steroids, and I'm on alcohol, and I'm just done cocaine the night before as well, so I'm just a mess, right? And the funny thing was, I've never cried in my life up until that point. I go to this doctor, and this poor doctor got the worst of me, and as soon as I hit the first word, it was tears coming out. And I'm just standing in front of him, and he's wondering, like, what the hell's wrong with you? And I literally just told him everything. And I think that's what the first step of recovery is, being honest with yourself, right? And really accepting that you hit a bottom and you need help. And I think I was in that spot that day. And I told him my whole situation. I told him what I've been doing. I told him that I have a problem and I don't know how to solve it. And this doctor, being a great doctor, said to me that he can't help me, but he can write me 2 prescriptions that will help. And it's funny because the first prescription that he wrote me, he wrote down NO. He said, give this to your buddies. And the second thing that he wrote down was AA. And he said, I suggest you go to a meeting. And the best part is, when you're hopeless, you're at a good spot in taking suggestions and listening, because you have no other hope, right? And so that's what I did. I mean, I've always had my thoughts around AA, and I always thought it was like people from the streets and drinking morning till night, and I'm not that bad. I'm only drinking every day, but only in the nighttime. Like I didn't really see the disease. I didn't see why I needed to go to AA, but I knew that I had no other option, and I took his suggestion. And funny thing for me is, like, I don't know, a lot of people on other channels, they say, AA is not for them, or they don't need AA. But for me, like, I've been going to AA for 8 years, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like I said, I love people, I love socializing, I love fellowship. And for me, it was not just so much drinking that was fun for me, it was socializing. It was connecting with my buddies and having fun and really engaging in those conversations and just shooting the shit, right? And so for me, AA's given me that. It's given me fellowship. It's given me friends. It's given me, people that are healthy and positive and sober, right? And so now I surround myself with people like that, and I live a pretty freaking amazing life. And I'm not gonna lie about that, right? So AA has definitely helped me, and I would definitely suggest that route as well if you can check it out. So for me anyways, it's funny because I went to my first meeting. I remember it was in Peace Arch Hospital. I'm from Surrey, so I didn't want to go to any Surrey meetings because God forbid someone recognize me or know who I am. So I went to a different city and I went to a different meeting, and funny thing, I totally expected something else, but it was an amazing meeting. Like, all the people had come from all different walks of life, all different colors, all different races, all different professions, and 100% everyone had a different story, but everyone experienced the same behaviors and the same thinking. And they really described to me the disease part of the disease of alcoholism, and how I was hopeless and powerless, and that it was not my fault. And yeah, 100%, like that felt really good to kind of really hear that and understand that it was something that I did not choose, but something that it was just happened to me, right? As a result of a lot of things that we'll get into in the episodes coming up. But yeah, so that's where my journey started. And ever since then, like, it's so funny, I remember that first meeting, someone said to me, "Hey, Bobby, there's more of, your kind," which I think he's referring to brown people, at the meeting on Wednesday. And I hit up that meeting because, again, I really enjoyed that meeting and I wanted more, right? And so I went to this meeting called Crescent Heights. It's out in White Rock, and man, I'm telling you, it felt like home. That was the meeting that really made me feel like there was hope, there was a solution, and there were people that I wanted to continue this journey of sobriety with. And it's funny that meeting became my home group, and I'll cover all what that means in the later episodes as well. But that's my home group, and that's where I celebrate my sobriety every year. And I met some great men and women, and yeah, man, like, my life's changed because of that group. But after that, obviously I needed more help, counseling and coaching and whatnot. So I took a program as well. And that's where really I kind of dug deep, and alongside with my sponsor as well. But I really, a program really helped me unfold the true nature of my disease, which was not in the drink at all. It was rather in my mind and my thinking and my thoughts and my attitudes and my behaviors and my beliefs, in my attachments, in my perceptions, in my past experiences. Like, I didn't understand all this stuff, but man, there's so much to learn. But 100%, like, working with another person, it really allowed me to see the disease. And ever since then, obviously I'll get more into that part in the later episodes, but I just wanted to let everyone know, like, this way of living is something that I always looked for in the bottle. Like, I've always looked for respect. a sense of purpose, self-respect, self-love, value, right? Motivation, drive, hope. And I never found it in that bottle, right? Instead, I found hopelessness, self-pity, guilt, shame, remorse, low self-esteem, disappointment, right? And but in sobriety, man, like I found all that and much more. And I live a pretty good life today. Obviously, it's not perfect. I'm not going to sell you on that. But I'll tell you one thing. I am emotionally stable enough to deal and navigate through life sober, right? And I'm no longer mood altering. I'm emotionally going through life on life's terms naturally, and it's amazing. And do I have fun? I think I have more fun now than I did drinking, because I mean I still travel all around the world. I just got back from Cancun, Mexico, plus Disneyland, and I partied it up. Me, my brother-in-law, and my friends, and my kids, and my wife, and my sister, we just had a blast. And the best part was, like, I was present. I remembered it, and I was fun with my kids, and I woke up early and worked out, and I experienced every moment of that trip instead of just the evenings where I drank and slept throughout the whole day, right? So, I mean, there's so much to sobriety. There's so much that it relates to in terms of success and internal success. And honestly, now I'm moving forward in life. I'm no longer still. I haven't gained this much success in the last 32 years of my life compared to the last 8 years of my life, right? Like, so this stuff is definitely the new trend. If you look at the rest of the world, a lot of people are getting sober, a lot of people are becoming successful. And yeah, like I wish to kind of talk more about sobriety and how to have fun in sobriety and the steps of recovery as well in the episodes to come. But this was my first episode. I'm very excited. I procrastinated for about a couple weeks on this, but like, again, in sobriety now, I just do it. So that's all for today's episode. Next episode, we will be covering more on alcoholism, and I hope to see you guys then.